Hi, welcome to Atheist Encounter Podcast. Do you want to know about atheists and their encounters? Then you're in the right place. Alright, so stay tuned as we are about to embark on a journey with another atheist. Hi, welcome to Atheist Encounter Podcast. My name is Atheist. Alright, so today on the podcast we have a guest on our show. But before we introduce our guest, I will go ahead and introduce our guest host. He's not a new person to the show. He's been on the show since day one. He's in the person of Mr. Chidozie. Mr. Chidozie, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much, Mr. Fabes.
Okay, you're welcome to the show once again.
Thank you so much.
We are glad to have you on board.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Our guest for today is Mr. Ninjaman. Mr. Ninjaman, can you say hi to our listeners?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ninjaman, the Ninjaman.
Okay, so you are welcome on the podcast, Mr. Ninjaman.
Thank you very much.
How do I address you? Is it Mr. Ninjaman or just Ninjaman? Sorry.
The Ninjaman.
Oh, wow. The Ninjaman. Okay. Thank you for that. All right. You're welcome on the podcast. We are sincerely happy to have you on the podcast today. So without wasting much time, we are going to go straight to our question as usual. So, Mr. Ninjaman.
Yeah, Fabes.
All right, can you tell us about your family, how your family is? Is it a religious family or you guys don't do religion?
Okay, actually, I was brought up in a family of Christianity. My mom and my dad were attending the same church, but my stepmom was attending a different church. Since the church doctrine of my father was against having a second wife, so my dad was just a nominal Christian. You know, I was brought up in that kind of family that there was a bit that was not really conservative in nature, but we were Christians. That's all I can say about my family background. Thank you.
From what I can deduce from what you just said now, it seems your family was a polygamous family. Am I correct?
Very well.
Okay, you had siblings from another mom?
Yes, my dad was, he had two wives. My mom happened to be the first wife. So my mom and my dad were attending the same church, while my stepmom was attending a different church. So I had to follow my stepmom to the different church because my stepbrothers were in that church. So I felt a bit more connected and nobody stopped me. So we were free to actually do so many things without a kind of a punishment or something. So my parents were liberals, though my mom is still alive, my stepmom is still alive, you know. So I was not really brought up in a very strict religious family, but we were Christians, and they are still Christians. Why I have left.
All right, thank you for that. But then, from what you just said, you left. What exactly made you leave religion?
Naturally, right from childhood, I have been this kind of child that, not a non-conformist. You know, I don't always follow the crowd. Right from my primary and secondary school, I have caused so many problems asking questions that they felt we shouldn't ask. So I had so many things in my head, and sometimes if I ask them, they will start looking at me like, why are you asking this? But my journey started like 20 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, like 20 years ago. So there was a conversation that happened between my sister and my cousin with one guy that was studying in the university, and he was reading, I think, archaeology. So the conversation sparked up everything I had in my brain. And from then, I started questioning so many things. So I can tell you, even during my diploma days, everybody knew I was going to end up like this. I'm telling you, 16 years ago. Yeah.
16 years ago.
Yes.
Wow, that's a long time. So you've been an atheist for a very long time then?
Yeah, but coming out to be outspoken about it, I think is around 5-6 years ago. But I stopped. I never took church seriously for the past 16-17 years. I will always try to dodge away from it. If I get to a place that you have to identify with your religion, I try to make people get confused so that they won't know where I come from.
Thank you so much for that response. I'm just going to hand you over to Mr. Chidozie. Mr. Chidozie, over to you now.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Fabest. Yeah, okay, Ninjaman, my question goes this way. So as an atheist, do you believe in afterlife?
The concept of life after death is the most funny concept I've ever had in my entire life. It is so funny that I feel the human IQ, the human knowledge has been bastardized. That if somebody will just come up and said, okay, the question I always ask is this: where do we go to when we go to sleep? We go to nowhere. And before we gain consciousness, before we were being conceived, giving birth and grow to this level, where were we? If I am 30 years today, 35 years ago, where was I? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. As an atheist, not just as an atheist, I just feel humans should be able to be so smart to understand the gimmicks. It is just for submission. Like for control and submission. They terrify you into submission so that they play with your senses and brainwash you. So I am not just an atheist. I'm a militant atheist who does not even believe there is witches and wizards. I don't believe in spirits. I don't believe in magic. Everybody knows magic is illusion. I believe in luck. But I don't believe there are some words that you can say that luck will come your way. I don't believe in that. I don't believe there is somebody who is going to lay his hands on your head when you are sick, you get healed. I don't believe in that. If you're sick, you go to the hospital. That is where sick people are being treated. And it is a known fact that if you come to life, one day you are going to die. Whether you are religious or you are non-religious. Whether you believe there is life after death or you don't, all of us have the same fate in the end. So there is nothing like me as an atheist. So if I see any atheist who tells me he still believes in the concept of afterlife, I don't call him an atheist. He's not. Maybe you should look for another name. Not an atheist. So I am a full-blown atheist. Yes, that's all I can say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that response. From your statement initially, you talked about you've been an atheist for a very long time, if I can recall. So how has atheism shaped the way you live your life all this way? How has it shaped your perception about life?
Good. When I said I have been an atheist for a very long time, it means I never actually got the tag for myself. But I can trace it back like close to 20 years ago when my atheism started. If you had asked me that time, I knew I was going to be a full-blown up someone who does not believe in a God concept completely. I knew I was going to get to that level. So if you're talking about shaping how I have been living my life, the impact it has had on me all this while that I become an atheist. Apart from being an atheist, I'm a realist. Even when I was growing up, I don't believe in going to a girl. I want to toast a lady, I have to lie to her before she accepts me. I am brutal when it comes to truth. So I have been like that. And there is this thing we call morals. Religion did not introduce morals. We've had morals even before religion. It preceded humanity. So it has been in, okay, with us before the introduction of the Western religions and the Arabian religion in our country. I know that our people were living in peace. They were loving one another. So it is no religion that taught people how to love. Religion just came and they hit under those good aspects of humans and claim that they are the ones that brought it. But in reality, they are not. Now, I am this kind of person, like, I work with my conscience. Even though there are some little touch of the religion that you can still trace in my system, I might unconsciously tell you tomorrow, by God's grace, I'm going to see you. I'm saying it for saying sake, because I have been built and programmed in that way. It doesn't mean I mean what I'm saying when I say by God's grace I will see you tomorrow. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yes, go on.
Good and fine. So and secondly, I live by this moral standard. I know that if I cheat on someone, there is nobody looking at me up in heaven. But I believe cheating on that person, if that thing is done to me, I feel very terrible. So I shouldn't do it to someone. So I have conscience, and I have been trying as much as possible to make use of that, my conscience, not looking at religious texts to control how I do my things. That's all.
That's beautiful. So I'll be handing you over to my colleague, Mr. Fabest. So, Mr. Fabest, the mic is yours.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Chidozie. Thank you for the response as well, Mr. Ninjaman, or the Ninjaman, as you would prefer to be called. Do you think life has inherent meaning, or do we create our own meaning?
I believe that sometimes I always say this. I said, we came to this world, pay bills, and die. But the truth is this: it only depends on the meaning you give to life. But if you look at it very well, it is meaningless. Life itself is meaningless. If I was asked, if there was a God who had asked me, and I knew this is what I'm going to pass through in this life, I would have just slipped off the way I was before I was even born. I would have just remained there without coming. So I didn't plan to come here. So life itself is meaningless. No matter how hard you try, you are going to lose loved ones to the cold hands of death. It is going to break your heart. If you have 10 brothers and 10 sisters, if you don't bury all of them, then one day they are going to bury you. So life is meaningless. The big mansion you build, you may not even enjoy it till the end. You will leave it all here. So it depends on the meaning you create on life. But if you live life the way it is meaningless.
Thank you for that response. I'd like to hand you over to our guest co-host, Mr. Chidozie.
So thank you so much, Mr. Ninjaman. My question goes this way, Mr. Ninjaman. If you ever have a say in the governance of this country, let's take Nigeria as a case study. What is the very first thing you do with religion? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay. I am not sure that somebody can be so powerful in this country alone to actually effect the changes I would need from a religion standpoint. Well, let's say I wouldn't behave the way the religious people actually want everything to be, because Christians are struggling to make sure the country becomes a Christian nation, and vice versa. The Muslims are struggling for the same thing. They wish everybody becomes a Muslim. They feel with that they are going to be in peace. And if an atheist believes everybody in the country should be an atheist, then I see that there is no difference between the atheist and the religious person. So what I would rather do, if I have a seat, if I have any power to change things, probably like the president, I will make sure I separate religion from the government. I will make sure it is completely two different things, and I will treat it separately. If it is a religion issue, I don't mingle with it with any government issue. That's all.
Okay, thank you so much for that response. I learned a whole lot from what you just said, and I highlighted a very valid point you made there. Okay, before I hand you over to Mr. Farbest, I have this one question I will ask you. Okay, from your perspective, what new way do you think the message of redemption, this message, how we want to liberate, that is the movement of emancipating our people from the shackles of religion, can be employed or applied to set our people free? Which unique way do you think we can do that? We can achieve that common objective? Thank you.
Okay, you see, we are all in this together, and I'm telling you that a lot of people are waking up. And what is waking people up? There are people you cannot meet face to face and tell them the ill of their religion. You can't. They would end up hurting you physically. But with the help of internet, we are sharing so many messages that is speaking directly to their conscience. There are some posts that if you had done it 5 years ago or 10 years ago in the social media, they can go to the level of looking for you to hurt you. But I think with the constant bashing, with the constant bashing that it's been receiving all this while in the social media, because if you don't have me directly as a friend, you have somebody who has me as a friend, probably a mutual friend. Before you know it, you keep seeing those things you feel. If somebody say the country is going to tumble, and in the end you still wake up and see that the country is still the way it is. So it is actually making so many people to wake up. For now there are people we can actually tell them the faults of religions face to face, the people that are so liberal. But there are those ones that we cannot face them and speak with them, but the internet is doing justice to that. So I think for now we should take it the way it has been going, and I think with this podcast too, many people are going to wake up. So that's what I feel we can do for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that elaborate and detailed explanation. So what you are insinuating is we should maintain the status quo. Both the new development of our podcast, we should sustain the tempo. So I'm handing you over to Mr. Patrick. Thank you.
All right, Ninjaman, thank you so much for that response to Mr. Chidozie's question. Ninjaman, do you think religion is necessary for social order?
Actually, there are countries that don't live by religion. We all know them, like Czech Republic. You go to China. The thing is, religious people feel humans cannot live without religion. But I'm sure you and I, we have been living so fine without religion. Religion is not necessary. But if you feel you really want to practice it, even in China, there are people that still belong in religion. It's just that our conventional kind of religion that we know here, like Christianity and Islam, is not popular there. But some of them are Buddhists. They practice Buddhism. And I think there are some of their indigenous religions there. But if you make it personal, this is what I believe in. I believe that if I die, I am going to a better place than this. But it shouldn't have effect on the next person negatively. I think I don't have problem with that. If you die in your illusions, it's not really if I try to give you reasons and you don't see reasons with me, the only thing is don't harm me and don't harm the next person. Just practice your religion without pushing another person into it. That'll be fine. Thank you.
All right, this next question I have here is about your personal life. Let me start with this. Are you married?
Yes, I'm married. I'm married over 3 years now. Getting to 4 years, few months to 4 years. And it was a church wedding.
Oh, wow. Okay. How did you handle the religious aspect of getting married in the church?
So I pretended like an hypocrite, like any other person in the church. And I had to leverage on my uncle. because he's one of the major founder of that church. So I leverage on him. Though even when I was a bit, sometimes I go to church. I normally used to go to that same church, but not a regular goer. Like I could spend 1 year without going. So when I went to them that I wanted to wait, they said they don't know me. I say, yes, you may not know me, but I have so-so person in this church, so-so person, 3 of my uncles are in this church, so-so person, and there is one of my uncle they respect so much. They asked him, they said, does he know me? He said very, very well that I am his son. So I had to leverage on that. Though what I normally do is, when they ask me then that why don't you come to the church, I tell them I don't always live around. I am always away, but I want to wait in this church. So they didn't know how it was, and before you knew it, it worked, and we waited.
Why didn't you decide to go for let's say traditional wedding or something? As in, was your wife so firm on the fact that you guys must get wedded in the church or something? What happened actually?
Okay, I told my wife, I'm an atheist. I don't want to do any church wedding. Why not we just do a court wedding, then we go for reception? She said, no, she's a Christian. That please, you want a church wedding? You want a church wedding? Yes. So since you can tolerate me being an atheist, going to church doesn't mean I am committing a sin. I can decide today as I'm talking to you, I can wake up tomorrow and say, let me just go to church. It's a choice. I'm not going to church for, like, if you invite me for a program, I didn't ban myself completely that my leg cannot step in a church. I am not a Christian. I have left Christianity for quite some time. Doesn't mean if I have any function that my brother or my cousin, I feel it is very important, I can still go to the church and attend it with them. But I don't belong to the church. I don't know if I'm making myself clear. So I had to just, okay, no problem, there is no problem. Since you want it that way, you are able to tolerate me and still marry me being an atheist and you're religious. So there is nothing wrong. I will pretend and I will go to the church, they wed us, and that's fine. That's just it. Yeah.
All right. What about, sorry, this is actually another personal question. Do you have kids at this moment?
Not yet. I don't have any.
Okay, all right then. I actually wanted to ask, how do you cope with the fact that your kids will actually be spending more time with your wife, and are you not concerned that she's going to indoctrinate them or something? But then,
yes,
it's okay, it's fine.
No, I have plans for that already. Because before we married, we have to talk about this. She asked me, what about our kids? I said, see, I wouldn't force my kids not to go to the church. You are the closest person to them. There is nothing wrong if you take them to the church. But any day my kids come to me to ask me anything they don't understand about religion, I will tell them the truth and what I know. So I would rather wait for them to grow, but I will tell them to ask anything they feel in their mind. Nobody should tell them not to ask questions. Nobody should limit the level they should go far in searching for information. Anything they don't understand, they are at liberty at any time to ask me, and I will promise to tell them the truth. I will not lie to them.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So basically what will be happening is they will go for indoctrination, and when they come home, you kind of uninstall all the
I may not really be waiting for them when they return. No. But I'll be open.
Yeah.
And I know that one day they will ask me, Daddy, why don't you go to church with us?
Okay.
We get, maybe the conversation might just start from there.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. But don't you think it's a kind of a situation heading towards chaos, where it's going to bring conflict in the future? It's going to bring conflict between your interest and the interest of your wife towards the children, don't you think?
I don't have interest to make my children irreligious.
Okay.
Yes, but I have interest in making my children get answers to the questions they are asking.
Okay.
I have interest to make sure my kids are not limited to what they can ask and what they can discuss. They
Okay.
will find out themselves. My father did not bring me up as an atheist. But I
Right.
did not have the opportunity to discuss with my father the way I will allow my kids to discuss with me.
Okay.
Yes, but I'm not trying to say I will make sure that my kids don't go to church. No, it means I am ready to fight with my wife.
Yeah.
If she wants to take them to church, she should take them to church. Let them socialize. But I'll make sure they have this open mind and they will grow with that. That on their own, they will decide if they want to stay in religion or not when they grow.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for that as well. And away from this personal question, I would like to ask you this question to get your view and perspective. This question is, what's your view on the concept of destiny? Like when they say somebody is destined for greatness, do you feel people are actually destined, or it's actually their hard work that pays off? What's your view on destiny?
Okay. I may have view, but I'm not saying my view is absolute, and I'm not saying my view is the most genuine one.
Okay.
First of all, I talked about luck. It's different from belief or something. I believe there is luck. Do you understand? Now,
Yes.
if you're talking about destiny, to me, I don't believe in it.
Okay, why?
I don't believe in destiny. I just believe that nobody knows what you are going to become tomorrow.
Okay.
And nobody can tell you if today I become a president, then you tell me it's because it is my destiny. Nobody knew. I just got there probably because of one favor or the other, or because something actually favored me. And I was able to climb to that. But people can be lucky in their life. People can actually be lucky. Like, I'm trying to do this and I'll get it a bit easier. But somebody tried the same thing and he did not get it easier. Doesn't mean you are special.
All right, so thank you for that response. I am going to hand you over to Chidozie. Mr. Chidozie, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Ninjaman, for all your answers so far. I'm really impressed from your well, let me say your introspection almost tallies with mine in terms of all the whole questions you've been asked and the responses. Okay, my question goes this way. Have you ever had a problem since you became an atheist? Okay, because I left religion, that's why I'm having these difficulties. Has there ever been a situation where you start rationalizing either to go front or to go back? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for this question. I want to say this. Some people become irreligious because they are angry. Or something happened to them and they felt there was a God and he couldn't come for them. He couldn't come to save them, so they are angry and they get out. My own is not like that. I want to tell you this. 2 minutes to my death, I will never go back to religion. I am 100% certain that there is no God. It seems you are not getting it. I am 100% certain that there is no God. So going back to religion of any kind is never possible in my life. Because if there is a God, the day I am going to see him, I will ask him questions that will make him feel irrelevant. Because for me as a human being, that I am not as merciful as they say he is, bro, I think I can do better. If they do and 10 by 10, bro, it don't fail. perfect. I know so many human beings that can do better. Now, there is nothing that will happen to me today that the worst has not happened to a religious person who has been so dedicated. So anything that will happen to me today, because I didn't live because I was angry, and nobody would threaten me with anything to go back to religion. I left it because I understood the lies I had to live. Not that I'm angry with anything. God does not exist, so who am I angry with? That's the point. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for that answers. So I'll hand you over to Mr. Fabest.
Okay. The question I have here goes like this: what are some things you have done to promote religion that you wish you could take back?
Okay, this is another funny question. Growing up, I was one of the intelligent kids in the hood, in the village there. So I was indoctrinated into memory verses. I was very good at that. Representing a particular association like that of so many churches. I will go win prizes and come back. I will stand and be talking things I don't even know how they are, telling them how God is so wonderful. Like today, if you ask me what I said, I can't even remember anything. So since then, I think I was less than 10. From then, there was nothing I can actually point out that this is what I did to promote religion. I told you I had been a different child, non-conformist. So I have been like that until this day. If you follow me on Facebook, some of my posts, you think I'm a sadist. I am not.
It's obvious your case is a very rare case because most of us were indoctrinated for a very long time before we left. Hearing you saying you've not done anything to promote religion, or you cannot recall that you've done something to promote religion and you wish you could take back, it's quite strange to me. But then let's move on to the next question. And the next question I have here is, what has been your most rewarding part of being irreligious?
Okay, I can't really see, I'm not this kind of people that love association. Like, we have to go in a group and do this, we have to go and do this. Yeah, even there is a link someone sent a grant to me sometimes ago, that if you have a problem, you can just say this and they will help you. I said something to him. I said, I am not actually doing well. I am not financially buoyant. But I know that there are some people that are still, they need this money more than me. They are struggling to even feed, especially from people that, non-religious people that left from the Islamic background. They are excommunicated totally, and most of them can't even feed themselves before they came out to say that they are irreligious, or before they discover that they are irreligious. They are atheists. So I feel they needed that most, not really me. Not that I don't need money, but I consider them first. So there is nothing in particular materially I've ever enjoyed because I'm an atheist, because I did not leave religion to enjoy anything. I am free and I'm okay with that. Nobody is telling me there is hellfire for me. I don't wake up early in the morning because I want to say a prayer to a God before he wakes up. I don't pray when I'm traveling. I just stand up, but I'm always with this in my head, like, I know any day, any time I can just die, and I'm not scared of it. Though if I can see death, I'll run more than you, more than the religious people. But since I cannot see it, I don't allow it to control me. So I live my life and I'm careful. But I'm not equally scared that I am going to die, because that is a reality. And that's the point. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So thank you for that response. All right. I'm handing you over now to Mr. Chidozie.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Fabest. There are some theists that argue that they always ask us, we that are atheists, who created us? So I want to take on the toga. Mr. Ninjaman, do you think we were created? Just tell us the concept of how we came into existence from a old perspective. Thank you.
Thank you for this question. First of all, I am not really an expert. Secondly, in as much as I prefer science over religion, doesn't mean I know very well about sciences. But the reason why I go with the sciences, I feel it can be challenged, and they don't feel absolute. Like they say it is like this and nobody can say it is not like this. So they are subject to change. If there is anything they need to change or adjust, or if they have a new knowledge, they are going to adjust to that. That is why I'm very okay with science, not like the religion. Now, the concept of the creation, to be frank, if I have to choose between the religion gimmicks story and what the sciences have tried to discover, like the Big Bang and other theories, I think I would rather go with the sciences. But for now, if I have to choose one, like in a dilemma, I have to choose one, I will go with the sciences, because there are questions that I need to ask, and I'm very sure that they have provided those answers. So I would rather go with the sciences. But if you leave me on my own, I will tell you, I don't know how we came into be. Nobody knows. I am still waiting. Probably they are going to discover it one day, but religion is out of it. Their concept is completely out of it. I cannot take it. It doesn't make sense. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, thank you so much for your response. You did a very nice job on that. I'll hand you over to Farbest. Thank you.
Ninjaman, thank you so much for that response to that question. And I love your sincerity, saying you don't know. You know, some people will be like, okay, they'll be beating around the bush, and at the end of the day, they are not going to make any sense out of what they are saying. But then I like your sincerity, saying you don't know. Let's assume a God appeared in the skies now. What are some of the things you would want to tell him?
First of all, I will want to confirm which God is he. Though I have been familiar with the Christianity and Islam kind of God, then I'll ask him, are you that powerful the way they made us believe? Probably he will say yes. Then I'll ask him, are you merciful? Bro, I go nail him. Are you merciful? He go make mistake, go say yes, he's merciful. Chai. Then I'll ask him, you are so powerful and so many things are going wrong in this world, and you are merciful and you sit in one corner watching them, that even a human being will just like, I wish I had power, I'm going to get this out. And humans cannot be so merciful to your level. So what is happening? I want explanation. You know? So I think he's going to stop being God when he appears to me. Seriously, he will stop.
I'm kind of laughing my head off here. Okay, so you mean when the creator of the universe encounters his creation, that's you, he's going to stop being God.
Yeah, he'll quit the job. He'll quit.
Then I will take over then, I guess.
So I think I'm a better candidate.
All right, that's funny. I would like to ask this follow-up question as well. All right, as a militant atheist that you said you are, what are the aspects of religion that you find most disgusting and annoying?
Bro, I don't want to rate them, but bro, almost everything is disgusting. First of all, the concept of prayers. You talk about everything that happens for a reason. So what are you trying to change? What is your fault if you do something wrong? If you become a thief today, an armed robber, you become a terrorist, hurting humans, it means it has been written before you were even created. I no first tell you, may you create me. So I don't get it. I don't get it. The concept of prayers is dumb. And secondly, worshiping has been an almighty. He created the universe that is it's so big that human brain can't even comprehend. He made everything, but he's so powerful. But he wants us to bow our heads and thank him and pray to him and worship him. That's the only thing that will make him happy. My brother, even me, I not sure say my younger brother if they behave like that. So do you know that with all these things, little things like this, he gets angry? I don't get it. The concept is just faulty that I cannot explain. Seriously, I can't just explain.
Okay. What are some practices that religious people do, or some things that religious people do that you feel actually disgusting and you would want them to stop?
I think the concept of seed sowing and giving of offering, in another way, I just feel like they need offering. Actually, yeah, they need offering to, if they were so plain to come out and tell people we need this offering because it is going to sustain the church. We need a conducive environment, and we know that the God we are worshiping, not be saying they come from heaven. They never ever come from heaven, do anything. All of us are just suspecting that he exists. So I think we need to make this place conducive for us. We will need AC, we need the building, we need to put everything in place so that whenever we come here to worship the God that we believe in, we are going to be comfortable. Then the offering should be used for that. But you are telling me that if I give you offering, you are using it to build a house for me. For here, I never get plot. But you want rush, make I go build a house for that side. It no make sense. You understand? Okay, fine. I have given you the money. I give wholeheartedly and I build the house there. But my character and everything is so short that I cannot enter the house that I have built. Who is going to occupy the house?
Now the person will tell you say, may bring the money, now you go enter them now.
That's so confusing. Now you look at it this way. The God that has everything, he created me, he created my source of income, he provides for me, he has, but he don't get money. Now my money won't collect start life. I don't get it. Bro, if you need money, you should go and hustle. No, I was going to suppose he get everything, you not can't get money. Who did they want? No, it don't make sense.
All right then. Thank you so much for that response.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ninjaman, for your response so far. Okay, my question goes this way. Let's take on the toga of the traditional belief system. We all know, and it's very visible and glaring to the blind and audible to the deaf, that Christianity is from the western part of the world, but we have our indigenous traditional system we believe in. Do you think they are of the same system or they correlate? What's your take on the toga of the traditional? Do you think we have to discard it as we've discarded other religion? That's my question.
You see, when I said I am an atheist or a militant atheist, I don't mean being militant to harm someone physically. That's not what I mean. I mean my ideas are undiluted, they are crude. Now this is the point. Being an atheist doesn't mean I only have problem with Christianity and Islam. I mean religion, worshipping of a deity of any kind, expecting it to do magic. Now, the worst form of religion, I don't know, probably is because I was brought up as a Christian. The worst form of religion I have seen in this life is even the traditional worshippers. They are time wasters. They can't achieve anything. They are wasting their time. In fact, I will even rate Christianity and Islam
before thinking about traditional worshippers. Those guys just do incantation, try to do some magic that doesn't make any sense. Like the Christianity and Islam are even using it to their Oga at the top are even using it to make money. But these traditional believers, they are the most deluded people, very primitive, that I've ever even seen. They were so powerful like that. Now local gun they use carry our gods, carry our ancestors, travel, go Obodo Ibo. So I beg you, they are the people, in fact, I even rate other people more than them. Thank you.
Okay, Ninjaman, what will it take for you to become religious again?
I didn't leave religion because somebody enticed me with something. Or I left religion because I felt there was need for me to do things that religious people were not able to do. Or probably I was angry at something before I was having the thought of maybe I left religion out of anger. Maybe something happened to me that hurt me. Maybe I lost someone, I lost something precious to me. So I was angry at the God. That's the reason why I left. No. I just discovered that there was no God. Religion was pure scam. I left. So I don't have any single reason to come back because what is done cannot be undone. And I want to state this. I said once the mind is overstretched to some certain point, it can never come back to normal. I am actually in that level now. I cannot unlearn what I have learned. I see religion as a curse. That is how I see it.
As a curse?
Yes, I see it as a curse to humanity.
Can you expatiate?
Good and fine. It limits us to execute so many things, so many of our potentials because we believe that there is a supernatural being, and that is why we are where we are today. That is why we refuse to develop. That is why we refuse to invent. We refuse to discover new things because a God is already there doing things on our behalf. So it makes us lazy. We can't think. I feel that is one of the disadvantages of religion. We are in a cage that we believe that there is a place better than here. So anything we are doing here, we might just be wasting time. But when we get there, we are going to have everything at the platter of gold. Because there are houses, mansions that have already been prepared for us there. So we are just waiting to get there because we know, maybe like me now at my age, I know worst case scenario in the next 70, 80 years, I will be no more. I will be no more. So I should expect that time should come so fast so that I can go there and rest in that big mansion. So it makes us to be lazy. We can't discover our full potentials because we believe that somebody supernatural somewhere is doing things on our behalf in a magical way. Do you understand?
Okay, yeah, I got that.
Yeah, there is no single thing that can bring me back to religion because I cannot really go back to the darkness that I was. And I am not trying to see my parents or feel bad about my parents. No, they felt they were giving me the right upbringing as a child. So it's because I feel they don't know. So I don't hold them accountable to what they did to me. But I will not do that to my own kids. And I'm telling you that you can just be fine without religion. Thank you.
What if a god appears in the sky? I don't want to actually mention a particular god's name. Let's just say a god in general. What if a religious god appears in the sky? Would you still believe?
Bro, the question where I go ask her, he go leave the seat for another person.
I know.
He go leave the seat, make another person enter. Because I go tell am say, Kai is the worst leader I've ever seen. I go first of all ask him, you sure say you get that power where they talk say you get? Now he answer or yes or no, now he go be the next firing question where I go give her. Do you understand? So it's not even possible.
Yes.
Because I will hold him in a debate that he will feel, I have created a monster. Though he created the devil.
All right. Thank you so much for that response. You're actually a militant atheist. Send back, okay? All right. I'll hand you over to Chidozie. Chidozie, can you take up?
Okay, let me take on the toga of development. Some of the Christians will always argue logically that there are some Christian countries that are highly developed, the likes of England, the likes of Italy. Now, the atheists will also come with a logical evidence that there are still countries that are not religious, they are still developed. Let's take on China and Russia. So, as an atheist, how do you explain this? Why is it that underdevelopment is more predominant in Africa that are still religious, whereas there are still countries that are religious but are highly developed? So, where did Africa miss it out? Where did we miss out from the scheme of things? Thank you.
Fine. You see, I want to state this categorically. It was when the West clearly separated religion from the government, they started real development. Yes, development is not about having big buildings. That is not the development I'm talking about. I'm talking about real development. They were able to clearly draw a line between religion and the government. They were treated separately, and they are still treated separately. Until we are able to get to that level, we will remain where we are. That's just the plain truth. Thank you.
Mr. Ninjaman, thank you so much for your responses so far, and we sincerely appreciate your sincerity and honesty. And I have this question with me here that I sincerely want to get your perspective. Okay, do you think atheism requires some level of education and exposure, or just anybody can be, an atheist?
I feel what atheism needs is sincerity. You don't need to be you don't need to be an expert to be an atheist. But I feel it has something to do with intelligence. Because intelligence will reveal to you that somebody is playing with your head. When you try to ask so many questions and the person cannot give you clear answers, then you start suspecting that something is wrong. Are you getting it? But sincerity would make you to actually accept the position of truth. That this is it, I can't pretend. This is it, and you can become an atheist. So it doesn't need special brain, but being smart, being intelligent to contribute. That is why I don't want to say all religious people are not intelligent. No. But there is likelihood that you find out that atheists are intelligent. Most of them are intelligent because they ask questions that intelligent people ask and arrive where they are. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that response. So basically, you are saying sincerity and intelligence are the only things one requires to be an atheist. And I think I agree with you, because we have so many people who are, very, very intelligent and still very, very religious. I think they are not sincere enough, because they can't just tell me they've not seen some things about their religion that that just doesn't add up, and then they don't question it, and then they just. I think sincerity is actually very important, and as well as the intelligence. So thank you so much for that response. Okay, what's your perspective about people who use maybe in a bus or in public spaces? They stand and try to preach to people, threaten them with hell, so try to convert them to their religion. What's your perspective on that? As let's say you eventually become the head of state, what would you do about that aspect?
Okay, I think I'll use one stone to hit two birds. What I'm going to do, I will ban that from the first week I'm going to assume office. I'm going to ban public preaching and all these loudspeakers for prayer calling and night vigil. If you want to do night vigil and your church doesn't have soundproof, just like big clubs have, I am going to ban the church, and you need a serious license before you operate a church. That's what I'm going to do. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ninjaman. In fact, you are highly intelligent. I could remember vividly, I made a post that you have to remove religion from governance. So I love that. That opinion is noted. So my question goes this way. What was the purpose of creation of religion from your own perspective? Why did you think man created religion? Why?
Okay, I will borrow someone's word. He said, religion is a placeholder for ignorance. There are so many things we did not know several years ago. Now we know them. And anything we discover, anything we find out, you find out that religion will quietly creep out of it. Now, religion was introduced to control man. It was introduced because, I will probably say, by the government. When they know that they cannot get a hold of you, maybe you made a crime, they cannot find you. They believe that even though you escape them, there is a supernatural being above that is going to catch you up whenever you die. Secondly, it is a way of man wants to live forever. Now, but he has not seen the possibility that he can live forever. So what does he do so that he can have this rest of mind? Since they know that whether you like it or not, there will be a time that you will go off from this planet. So decided to give us hope so that we will not die thinking, probably this might be my last chance. I will not survive somewhere again. They decided to create something to give us hope that even if you live here, if you do this, you are still going to live in another place. So it's a kind of to give us comfort. I think that's all why religion, in my own perspective. Thank you.
All right. Okay. I love your response. Well noted. Now, so do you think a point will come, religion will fizzle out from our space? Or has the idea come to stay with us?
Whether we like it or not, humans must live with gullibles. And the gullible ones among humans would always find something to want to find comfort. But in the case of religion, we have religion that had already gone into to oblivion. Like Zoroastrian, you can hardly see somebody who practices that. But I'm telling you, these are mainstream religion, Christianity and Islam. I want to tell you this. A time will come, the way the internet is going and the way people are being liberated is like a wildfire. So many people are hiding, they can't come out. So religion will go into oblivion. It will take time, but it will definitely go out. Thank you.
Mr. Chidozie, do you have one final word for Mr. Ninjaman?
Okay. My final words for Mr. Ninjaman is more of appraisal. I want to thank him for coming to the podcast and doing justice to our movement. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for giving me this platform. It's not really been easy. You find how to express yourself. Thank you for giving this platform for me to vent out how I have felt all this while. At least I'm able to discuss with people, like minds. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ninjaman. And I would like to get your recommendations on how to make this podcast very, very good. What are your recommendations for this podcast?
I am an analog person. But I know one step at a time, you are going to go global. The way it's been posted, I should encourage us to share so that so many people will be aware. If I have 1,000 friends and I share it, even if it is 300 people that are able to see it, they know that there is something like that. It will get into their brain someday.
All right, so we can say our goodbyes, please.
All right, take care. We will hook up again. Bye.
All right, thank you so much and good night.
Yeah, good night.
All right, so after listening to that, what do you have to say? Drop us a comment in the comment section below. You can as well follow us on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Spotify. All right, so thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.